How to use HubSpot? Let's answer the question in this video. Many companies and many businesses use HubSpot in many different ways. It completely depends upon your business model and it also depends upon your industry. HubSpot is primarily a CRM with sales, marketing, and service attached to it. It's completely customized, configured based on the business goals and the industry requirements. It depends upon what kind of industry you are in and how do you really want to configure HubSpot. The question of how to use HubSpot, well, you can use it in any way that you want. HubSpot is a CRM and more like your digital assistant, so you can configure it accordingly. Let's dive deep into this HubSpot software and try to understand how you can use HubSpot based upon your requirement and how you can configure various features that suit your industry. So let's dive deep into the topic. And before we move forward, I am Chandan Kamal Sharma. I am a Salesforce certified and HubSpot partner as well. I've been doing lots of implementation when it comes to HubSpot or any kind of CRM implementation, marketing automation, service and sales automation as well. It becomes quite overwhelming when it comes to understanding how HubSpot works, the different features and different configuration settings. So let's start. So we will start with HubSpot demo account, which is also a full version. So I'm not talking about the free version or starter or professional or enterprise version. This is HubSpot's full version that we are going to look at to understand how HubSpot can be used for any kind of businesses. So when HubSpot comes to you, right, when you subscribe to HubSpot, even if it's a free version or starter or a pro or enterprise version, it needs to be configured, right? So that's the first step. You need to configure HubSpot depending upon your requirement. Right, so for that you need to go to settings, and settings are very important for you to understand. But I think this is quite common. It's just like opening your phone and doing the basic settings first, right? So when you get a new phone, you do the settings based on your requirements. So here you are. If you see, there are certain tabs like, for example, general, and you have notifications. With general, basically you configure all the email, what are the email that you're going to use, email address that you're going to use. What is the kind of calling software they're going to use, how the calendar is going to work, right? Likewise, you have other settings that you need to look at. So I would advise, if you have gotten HubSpot, start with the settings first, right? So you have the account settings, go to account default. What are the default things? For example, if you want to have certain screen that you want to display when you are going into HubSpot, that you can set here. You can also set up your branding depending upon your company's logo and everything. Then you can set also your users as well as team. So this is if you have more than one people. If you are having a lot of teams out there, you can basically set all them up by creating a user. Then you go to integrations. You can connect different apps. Why do you need to connect apps? So for example, if you want to connect your HubSpot CRM to maybe your e-commerce store, this is the place where you connect your store, right? If you want to connect HubSpot with your WordPress website or CMS or the CMS that you are using, this is the place where you do that. Okay. Likewise, we have many other things, tracking and analytics. You can pick up the tracking code, put on the website so that you can track the website performance, and you can also track the leads and everything. That takes me to one very important part, which is HubSpot is being used mostly for two types of business models. One is B2B or other one is B2C, right? B2C is more like e-commerce kind of a setup wherein you have a large base of customers. B2B is more focused in B2B, business to business sales, like for example where you have to depend more on leads than transaction. B2C is more about transaction, B2B is more about generating leads, and then those leads convert into customers for the transaction. Right? So this is also a way we can actually look at HubSpot, how you can set it. And fortunately, HubSpot settings are very much configurable for any kind of business that you want. So we have we have website. You can of course create a complete website in HubSpot. You can set up your domain. You can set up navigational menus if you are of course going for. And one more thing, these options comes only with HubSpot Pro, right? And not with every HubSpot. So if you have gotten HubSpot free or starter, you might not get these options. Here we are getting these options because this is a professional account, and we are having a free demo account here. So yes, this is where you can go and set up your domain, so that you don't even have to use any external, uh, you know, uh, any external website or CMS. You can create entire website in HubSpot itself. We will go through each and every step uh, one by one. But yes, this is where you do all the configuration. You can set up your inbox. So basically, go ahead and look at this. The most important configuration here is the properties, right? In data management. So for example, when you're importing a list, right, in HubSpot, which we will see just now, and if the list has something specific to your business, so for example, first name, last name, email address, phone number, every business usually has, but maybe for your business there's something new that you also want to have, probably based on your industry or your kind of business goal. You are having a different kind of a field as well in your contact sheet. You need to basically go here, and step one, you have to create those properties here, right? So you can simply go in any of the create property. You can choose, okay, this is a contact, and if what kind of group that is, and what kind of label that will be there, and then and the kind of field type, for example, text field or maybe any other kind of field. So this is very important for you to understand that this is the most important aspect in HubSpot. So we just saw settings. Right now, setting is there in everything. Like, for example, if you are having a phone, you are having any kind of a software, you have to go to the settings and do the basic settings first. Right. So to answer your question about how to use HubSpot, of course, we'll come to the other aspects of HubSpot, but settings is where we start. But now let's look at it from the business point of view and not from the technical settings point of view, right? Because once the settings are complete, now we will move to the next step, which is contacts, then marketing, service, and sales. So to make you understand how to use HubSpot, what we basically do is we import the contacts, or we connect website with HubSpot, or any other medium, like for example LinkedIn with HubSpot, wherein we use these sources to get contacts. Now the contacts is number one, right? It's the first step. The contacts convert to lead or prospects, depending upon how you want to define it. But the first thing is contacts, right? So any email address or any first name or any kind of detail of any individual, when it falls inside HubSpot, they are called as contacts. Now once you have the contacts and once you have the setting in place, now how you really use HubSpot is in three ways. You can either use it for marketing, for your sales, or for your customer service. Now we will look at all these marketing, sales, and service features. We are not going to go very deep into it, but just to give you an understanding of how HubSpot is being used. HubSpot is to be used either for marketing, or for sales, or for service, or maybe for all three, right? So primary source being the contacts or the CRM part of HubSpot, which is connected to either marketing, sales, service, or all three. So how companies use it? Many companies use marketing feature of HubSpot, and they go ahead, they buy either the starter marketing or the pro marketing or the enterprise marketing. Depending upon the tier of HubSpot subscription, you get more and more features. So for example, if you go for a pro version of HubSpot marketing, you get the website, entire CMS website, of course, you can create inside it. And you get more, marketable contacts, which is the number of emails you can send per month. You also get the workflow feature, right? So I'm talking right now about the marketing aspect. From the sales aspect, you get to use the deals as well as the various other elements which are associated with sales. And for service aspect, you can of course understand that you can connect your email, your WhatsApp, your SMS with your HubSpot, so that when customer faces any problem, you can actually address those concerns as customer service. It's completely upon you. Most companies don't buy the service type, the service hub. I don't know why. They should actually get it. It's not even that expensive. But I have seen companies using HubSpot marketing and HubSpot sales a lot. So let's now look at some of the features and how they really look in HubSpot. So once you're done with the settings, you can go into the contacts, which again is very important thing, and the second step, right, when using HubSpot, creating one contact in HubSpot. There are multiple ways to create contact in HubSpot. Like I mentioned, you can connect with external sources like LinkedIn or any other kind of sources. Number two is you can import your Excel sheet, a cleaned up good Excel sheet inside HubSpot. Number three is, of course, you can create contact directly inside HubSpot. Let's start with creating a contact. This is not a tutorial, just to let you know, just trying to understand exactly how HubSpot really works. So maybe we can say my email address I'll start using, and this is all that we need. This is where you define who do you want to assign this contact. What this really means is that who's going to take the ownership of this particular contact. In this case, since I am already a user, it's showing myself. Otherwise, there will be a list of other users whom you would add from settings. For example, if you have a team member and you want to assign this task to that particular team member, then hey, every time a contact is assigned to you, you have to make sure that you call or send email or get connected to get the deal finalized, or maybe to start the business communication. So here we are going to have create contact, and then if I refresh it, you'll see that it's going to show myself. All right, now it's open. Now this contact is open right in front of you. We can have phone number, we can have stage, the life cycle stage, where this particular prospect is. And of course, if you have connected with it with your website, you will get site visits, you will get number of page views. This is very important information, as you might already understand. You get to see all the activities, activity notes. You can also have notes, what emails were sent to this person, any calls. So what you can basically do is, you can connect multiple calling softwares inside HubSpot, and when you make the calls from those tools, you have the voice call saved here itself. So that is a very important feature again, and all mid-size enterprise companies, they know about it, and this is a very common, very old feature of any CRM. I'm just letting you know so that if you are new to HubSpot, you will understand this feature. This question comes to me quite often because I mostly deal in small businesses and mid-sized businesses, and when I migrate them from any other tool or maybe get them a new CRM, then this is a very common question which comes to me about, can we connect our calling software? Yes, you can. There are multiple options available. This is where you assign a task. So for example, when you assign a task, it becomes a sales feature. We'll come to that. And yes, this is also a feature wherein if you have any company address, it will show up here, deals, everything associated with this particular contact. Right? So this is about it. And now let's move to the marketing aspect of the business, or the marketing aspect of the CRM. You can connect all your ads, right? So if you have Google ads, Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, you can connect it with HubSpot. You can start sending email. 3 kind of email you can send. Number 1 is one-to-one email. Number 2 is I would say standalone, or maybe one-off email, or maybe I would say email which is like you send it for a bulk email kind of email. And third email, you can send it using to the drip kind of a campaign that you can send. You can create landing pages. You can send SMS from HubSpot. You can connect your SMS device. Also, not the SMS device, SMS tool with HubSpot. It will take care of that. You can connect to social media, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and you can post directly from HubSpot itself. You can create entire website. You can do the SEO. You can do the blogging, all from HubSpot. Just to let you know, HubSpot's blogging is also really very good in terms of SEO. SEO, because if you create blogs in HubSpot, it's really recognized quite well by Google search engine. This is a campaign. You can upload all the design. You can have all your files here. You can upload the files, Excel file, or maybe any kind of PDF that you want to connect. This is a HubSpot database. You can use design tools. When you go to the design tools, you will be able to create your own themes, right? Configure your own using Hubble language, which is quite an advanced feature when it comes to a tool like this. This is available only from Pro and above, and not below that. When it comes to the lead capture, we have CTAs, call to actions, and we can also create forms, which is very important when it comes to both B2B or B2C lead generation. I would like to show you CTAs. What CTAs mean? CTAs is call to actions, those pop-up forms, multiple type of pop-up forms that one can have, which is very required in today's digital businesses. So when you look at this CTAs, you will be seeing multiple pop-up forms. So when you go to create a CTA, it gives you multiple options. For example, you can have slide in event registration, live webinar registration pop-up. You can have workshop registration. These are all built-in HubSpot default features. You can have content, and you can have free kit downloadable. These are the kind of options that you can configure according to your business requirement. I will not get into how to create it. I'm just showing you the features. Then comes sales. Now if you look at sales, this is very important. Now we have moved from marketing to sales. All these features are related to sales, right? So let's forget this one because this is, I would say, HubSpot specific feature. But yes, we will go into deals. In Salesforce, this is called as opportunities for those who get confused between these two. I have more videos about how to use sales features, what is a pipeline, how to use a pipeline. If you don't know what a pipeline is all about your sales process, and you can configure it again in settings itself, where you will see exactly how pipeline works. So here's a pipeline that we have. You can create up to 2 in the free version, or as well as in the starter version. But when it comes to Pro, you basically, and all the data that you see here is all, I would say, fake data. This is because as you can see, it's a HubSpot demo version. This is where you also can forecast the sales. There are certain features, the calculations that you can do. You can assign tasks. So you can look at any sales rep who logs into their HubSpot. They will be able to see their tasks for that day. They will be seeing that who all they have to call, what is the due today, and what is overdue call, what are the upcoming calls that they have to make, or maybe other ways to connect with their prospects. Right, this is a playlist. You can have your entire training for your sales team here. Documents. So if you have certain documents, maybe some kind of maybe company brochures, presentations, you can have it here. The advantage of having it inside HubSpot is you will be able to know which email address and which contacts has clicked those prospects, those files, and how much they have viewed, how much time they have spent on those PDF or the brochures, and if they have forwarded it to anyone else. Then you have meetings. Of course, you can set up your meetings. You can set up your calendar. You have the payment options. You can take payments from your clients using HubSpot. Playbooks. You can of course configure products. And this is, of course, you can create your codes inside HubSpot. Just to let you know, all these features come in the HubSpot, I'd say, Pro version and above, Sales Pro, right? So then you have sales analytics to understand exactly how sales is performing, how sales team is working, how an individual is performing, what are the kind of calls they are making, whether or not they're doing what they are supposed to do. All those things can be here. Just to let you know that you can have HubSpot Marketing Pro version, Sales Pro version, or Service Pro version, or Marketing Starter, Sales Starter, or Service Starter, or you can combine all of them together and get your version, right? I will come with another video wherein I will explain about these. I'll go deeper into these topics separately. Now let's move to service. You might already be aware about tickets. It's all about the emails that come to you from the customers, or maybe through WhatsApp or any other form of contact, wherein you can find out if they are facing any problem and what are the problems they're facing. So it's about somebody sitting in your company and contacting them, trying to address their issues. So here we have some sample data: out of stock order, failed motor, garden travel. So if I go to any single one, maybe garden travel, you might also get an email which will again will be a dummy email, or maybe something. Let's see exactly how this is. So we have some data, we have some email address. Again, as you can see here, some problem was there which was being faced by somebody. So this is actually showing here right inside the HubSpot demo account. Then you have the knowledge base, you have the customer portal, and you have feedback service. Not much used by many companies, at least the ones who have just started. But I would say out of these 4 features, tickets and knowledge base is very, very important when you are starting up, because it reduces a lot of effort of your sales team or the service team. Then let's look at the workflow. Now workflow is where all automations take place. You can connect multiple processes together. We will look at some of the demo workflows and see how it works. Workflow is good because it can connect CRM, sales, marketing, service, and one more very important thing, that is chat. We will get into that as well. So again, forecasting category, let's see how does it look like in workflow. These were all default created in the HubSpot demo account when it came to me. So yes, this workflow can't be edited. Yes, it is cannot be edited. This is just an example that you can see a branch, multiple branches. I mean, we can connect marketing here as well. Let me show you a sample workflow I'll create. That will be around from scratch. Let's create one from scratch. This is just to show you how to use the HubSpot workflow here. We'll go with the blank workflow. I will not change the name here, but this is just to show you. Right, so set up a trigger. All right, let's set up a trigger when an event occurs. Well, this is one thing which actually bothers me. There are hundreds of pop-ups which keep coming up in HubSpot, but it's all about training you, right? So if I say somebody has submitted a form, I think you might have gotten an idea by now. I probably don't have a form right now because we don't have okay, done. All right, form submission, we don't have any form, but yes, like you got the idea, right? For example, if somebody submits any form here, we can then send an email, right? So send email. So this is the most common one. So you can select any email. Okay, we don't have any email here, but yes, somebody submitted the form, we can send it to then email, and then it doesn't have to stop there. If somebody opens the email, HubSpot workflow can check it, and if somebody has opened the email, we can then connect the sales process as well in the workflow, which means that the salesperson would get to know that somebody is interested. They have opened the email or clicked the email, or maybe they have clicked an email maybe 5 or 6 times, opened the email, multiple emails. That kind of a data can be collected in workflow and can be sent to the sales team, and then it makes the job easier, and it of course saves a lot of time for sales guys to establish contact with somebody who's shown some interest. Right, so this is about some of the important features in HubSpot. I would like to show you one last thing, though there are many other things in HubSpot as well, but which is the chatbot. I have found the chatbot as a very interesting thing, very useful as well. It helps a lot. I mean, it can be very complex as well. Like you can see, you can also connect your Facebook Messenger here. Then you can create a chat flow. You have website, Facebook, you can set it up. So yes, the way you want it to look, how do you want it to name, and then you can of course publish it. It can become very complex as well when you get into creating sales process based chatbot, or marketing chatbot, or service chatbot. So yes, these are some of the, I would say, overview of all the features that we can have in HubSpot and how to use it. So irrespective of the industry, irrespective of the business type, HubSpot can be configured for any kind of business, any kind of industry. I have done a lot of projects in HubSpot. Like I mentioned, I have done more than 125 projects configuring different kind of CRMs, including Salesforce. I've also done a lot of migration, and I've seen that these companies are using HubSpot or Salesforce depending upon their requirement. And HubSpot is of course very configurable. And one of the very easy, one of the points which I have seen with as a winner when it comes to HubSpot is the ease of use, which is of course not good from the point of view of having a consultant. But companies tend to start using HubSpot on their own maybe after 3 to 4 months, because they find themselves very comfortable in using HubSpot CRM. It's very easy to use HubSpot CRM, and since you already have in your mind the kind of marketing, sales, service process that you want to connect with HubSpot, it starts growing on you. Things start becoming very clear, and after some point you realize that yes, you as a business owner can use HubSpot very easily on your own. You need a consultant, or you need an external source only when you are having your website, or when you are creating complex processes in HubSpot, the multiple landing pages. Only then you would need it. Only the big companies which I have seen are having external resources, because they have multiple things going on parallelly, so they need assistance. Otherwise, most of them, they can do it. They can use HubSpot themselves as well. So that's all about when it comes to this video. We'll connect again, and do subscribe in case you want to know more about the other features or in general about other concepts in business automation. I also have a big book coming up. I'll post it here very soon in the description. Bye for now, and happy automating.